The Aviation Africa Summit is happening 13th and 14th of September. You can register now to be there. It's going to be the biggest aviation event on the continent has ever seen.
So joining me is Alan Peaford. He's the chairman of Aviation Africa. Thank you so very much for being
Thank
here.
you.
So how have you been?
That's great. Loving it. And so looking forward to this year's event here in Abuja. It's exciting.
Yes. Okay, so it's the date has been set is the 13th and 14th of September.
Yep.
So let me ask you this. How has the preparation been?
Well, the preparation is moving along at a great pace. It has to be because we have people coming from all over the world. We'll have people coming from Montreal, from Paris, from London, from Dubai, from India. And that is so important to get those dates out there. For us, there's a lot of work in preparation that goes on initially, working politically, if you like, with a host country, because the show does move around. And this was the first time we've accepted the invitation from Nigeria. We've talked, there is real great progress happening with West Africa. And for the aviation industry, doors need to open to see just what those opportunities are. And that's very much the reason we wanted to bring the Aviation Africa Summit here to Nigeria and of course invite some of those neighboring countries along, because there's a lot of things happening there as well, to bring people together to talk about the challenges, the issues, and what can be done to bring success in the future.
Let's backtrack to the last year's edition. That was at Rwanda. How would you measure its success? Now I'm asking because we want to make a comparison to what you're expecting for this year's event.
Okay, numbers. Last year we had just short of 1,400 delegates coming through. Interestingly, in that there was probably something like 70 airlines that were represented. We had airline CEOs from across Africa, but also coming from the Middle East and Africa, from India as well. And so that high level of participation, 29 director generals of civil aviation were there. I think it was 17 or maybe more air chiefs, the chiefs of staff from defense, all coming into the same room, and all those delegates can get to talk to them, can meet them. It's done in an informal, social way, and action actually happens. And it's not just a talking shop. It's actually can I trust this person? Can I meet them again? Can I come back and see them? And it works. And business is done at the end of the day. It breaks down barriers. Ethiopia, we've had the event in there. We've had the event in Cairo because they opened doors to allow people to come in. And now it's happening in Nigeria. So how will we judge it this year? People will come. I'm sure, having been here, Nigeria is going to be as welcoming as it can be. I think, you know, the whole attitude and the culture in Nigeria is significantly different from how it's often portrayed outside. So I think for Nigeria and to fans who'll be saying the same thing, make the airport welcoming for them. Get the airline industry and the airport industry coming into Abuja and go, wow. I want to be here. I want to do business.
Specifically, let me ask you this. I know you've highlighted some of the advantages, especially taking a cue from Rwanda. But what advantage would you say that the Aviation Africa Summit has to the host country?
A phenomenal one, because it does eventually lead to jobs and it can lead to change. Now, I think you're well aware, if you've read aviation press, you know that there have been a number of issues dealing with some countries with things like withholding foreign currency, which is stopping airlines traveling. There have been restrictions on working together. I hope there will be change, because if government is here, government ministers are here meeting other government ministers, DGs are here meeting other DGs, examples will be being shown as to how you can facilitate change. And the difference that will make to Nigerians will be quite significant. If we can make a reduction in the additional taxes or costs that are put onto Nigerian airlines by showing examples of how other countries have managed to do it, then Nigerians will be paying less for their air tickets. That's just going through because the airlines have to pay more for taxation. If we can get agreements on opening connectivity of routes to be able to fly from Lagos or Abuja or from Kano into other countries where you can do trade, and you start buying into the whole concept of the free African trade business, it's going to be a benefit. And this is the start of those changes. This is what facilitates change, is by bringing the biggest part of connectivity together, and that is the airline industry. And if we can bring that in with IATA being there, and ICAO being there, and the airline councils being there, we can help Nigeria achieve those changes.